welcome to Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. I am Kyle, your host. Welcome to the podcast. And if you are not subscribed, please do so. Also hit that like button and as well as head kick that bell icon, because when we do videos, you will know we're also doing more giveaways coming up. So stay tuned for that. But today we're going to be talking about Jon Jones. And first, before we really get into what's going on with him with the California State Athletic Commission and USADA and everything else, Jon Jones could be looked at as one of the best mixed martial artists ever. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. With that comes being a role model to kids. And with that comes a lot of eyes on you on everything that you do. So for him to be at this point of his career where he's still in his prime, he still has a lot left and he's dealing with these issues. It just really reminds me of Anderson Silva at the end of his career and what he's going through. And with all these allegations coming up of PEDs and the situation with, just where he's headed in his career right now for Silva, it's very, very much similar with the two of them, and both looked at as top of the MMA world at a point. Of course, Silva was and still is looked at that just with what he's dealing with. But with Jones being young, having stardom come from really nothing to all of a sudden he became a millionaire, and with the Bentley incident, and there was a hit and run incident that he had. All these situations that are going on with him, it just makes it very difficult as a fan of MMA and the UFC, of course, to see a guy like him and the potential just going away. He's got so much potential, and again, I'm not telling you anything you don't know there, but it's just unbelievable that at this point that maybe it was the fame and fortune that derailed him. Not really sure exactly. Of course, that's something that we may never know how all this transpired, but the California State Athletic Commission needs to figure that out. So yesterday they had the meeting. And it was in front of the commission, and it was for the anti-doping violation from July. And of course, a lot of things were coming out during that. They really looked at his whole body of what's been going on in his life, not just the allegations that are coming out. So from the recommendation of Andy Foster, he was fined $200,000, which is 40% of the purse. Also, some of the income from the pay-per-view was also fined, part of the fine. So now what's happening with the licensing? So they are taking away his license retroactively, and he'll have to apply. He gets to apply for a new one August of 2018 of this year. So he gets to apply for a new one in the coming months. But he has to still go in front of USADA for the other allegations that he has going on. So he has to still, it's not a clear for him yet. He still has some work to do to get back into the cage, which I believe that USADA meeting is going to be, rumor is having it that it'll be before the end of March. So we should be getting an answer on that in the coming weeks. But the thing that really bothered me, I watched the hearing, and they really embarrassed Jon Jones in this situation. As I was saying, they looked at everything. They looked at entirely his life, what's going on in his life. They brought up the hit and run. They brought up his sexual health. When they were talking about his, the penis pills, and that was the reason why it was a tainted supplement, and all these other things that are coming out are tainted sample. They really brought up too many things to me. It just seemed odd that they would be getting into that where they should be focusing just on, is he guilty or not guilty of taking a supplement? The Bentley incident shouldn't matter. Hit and run. Also, they asked him if does he still drink? That's not a crime. At his age, it's not a crime. He can drink. That's not, but they were really downplaying his entire character. And I don't think Jon Jones is a bad guy at all. I think that he's just being looked at under a microscope, and now it's because of how well he's done within mixed martial arts, it's just giving him more, it's giving them more ammunition to, hey, let's look at everything. And these kind of hearings, I'm not sure if you've seen them, they can kind of talk about anything. I mean, it's not a criminal hearing where they have to talk about the case and this is it. They just started asking a lot of questions about, his character, his personality, and it's embarrassing for him to really go over that, where they should say, hey, was this substance purposely ingested into your body? Was it not? Was it a supplement you were taking that made this come up positive for a certain PED? That's the things that they should be talking about. They shouldn't really be talking about all of the other situations that have happened in his life. So very, very odd for them to really dive into that. But we will find more out on the situation with Jon Jones. And will he be suspended for a longer time? Will they give him back his license? I'm thinking that at a point he's going to be obviously getting it back. And they actually said, one of the people on the commission said, we don't believe we should be ending Jon Jones' career for his second offense, but he needs to sit out on the sidelines for a while. So that's where we are now. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this is something that he should be, thrown the book at and hammered down for, a longer suspension? Or do you think that they should just say, listen, he didn't take it purposely. This is what's going to be happening now. Get him back in the cage. Get him back into, what he does best and what we all want to see him do. So let me know. That is for right now. That's all that I have for you at Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. Stay tuned for more.